Jeffries and Robert Sterling as Marion and George Kirby. And Leo G. Carroll as Topper.
Blazes would be pounding on the door at this hour of the morning.
Morning, Mr. Topper.
Mr. Doolittle.
I'm all set to make the repairs your wife wanted.
At this hour?
Oh, she said she wanted to get started early with her spring cleaning.
She meant early in the spring. Not early before we get out of bed. I haven't had my sleep out yet.
Time, tide, and spring cleaning, Mr. Topper. Wait for no man. I'll bring my ladder in.
Oh, just a moment. I'd rather you didn't do any work around here until after I've gone to the office. You know Mr. Bixby down the street?
Charming man. He receives such interesting postcards.
Yes, well, Mr. Schuyler and I have got a very important deal on with him. And I was over there yesterday, and he told me that his front door lock was broken.
I fixed it last night.
Oh.
Just remembered. I forgot to give him his new keys. I'll go over there.
Yeah, you do that.
I'll be right back.
I'm afraid you will. George, what are you doing?
George has figured out a way to make spring cleaning a joy to the housewife.
That's our backroom cleaner. Just got it back from the repair shop, and already you've broken it.
So you think I'm a screwball, huh? Well, that's your privilege. But they call the man who invented the paperclip a screwball, too.
And he made millions.
Rubber heels.
Millions.
Safety razors. Fountain pens. Tea bags.
Millions, millions, millions. All of them screwballs like George.
I've applied for a patent on it in your name, Topper. You'll be rich. Well, aren't you going to ask me what I've invented?
No.
No?
No. Well, what is it?
It's an attachment for the vacuum cleaner that mixes martinis.
Well, that fills a long-felt need. But what's that got to do with spring cleaning?
Everything, Topper, everything. A pickup while you clean up. That's my slogan. I make 'em extra dry for dry cleaning.
It takes all the drudgery out of spring cleaning.
I'll show you how it works.
No olives?
Why, certainly it has olives. Watch. Too much tension on the spring.
Olives all over the place.
Ah, but that's where my genius is flowered. You see, when anything goes wrong, you simply turn on the vacuum cleaner and clean up the mess.
Very ingenious, George, except for one thing.
You tell him, Topper. I didn't have the heart to.
Martinis are never shaken. They're always stirred.
Well, back to the old drafting board.
I'll answer it, Maggie. Mr. Doolittle, you're late.
I took some keys over to Mr. Bixby's, but he doesn't seem to be at home.
You promised you'd be here the first thing in the morning. And here it is, second or third thing. Here's a list of repairs I want you to take care of.
Topper, the paint sprayer is a great idea. It already has the paint mixer attached.
Well, what are you waiting for, Picasso? You should go down to the hardware store and shoplift a bucket of paint.
Right.
No stealing, George.
And then I want you to put larger hooks in that hall closet.
Excuse me, folks. Be right back.
And this door. Mr. Doolittle, you simply must do something about this door. It keeps opening and closing by itself. And I'll show you where to put the hooks in the closet.
One thing at a time, Mrs. Topper. Let me fix the door first. Do you have a door stop?
A what?
A door stop. It's a heavy weight you put against the door to make it stay put.
Oh, yes. Just a moment.
It looks like a loaf of bread.
It is. The first I ever baked. He's so proud he varnished it and uses it as a doorstop.
Well, I don't think we better use your bread to put against the door. If we get trapped in here, we might never get out.
Oh, I forgot. The hardware store isn't open yet.
It's at it again.
Excuse me. I want to talk to Topper.
I'll tell you what, Mrs. Topper, the hinges need oiling. I'll go out to the garage and get some oil. When I knock, you let me in.
That was fast.
Mrs. Topper.
Well, you're not Mr. Doolittle. You're Mr. Bixby, our neighbor.
I've just done something terribly stupid.
Don't apologize. I'm every bit as stupid as you are.
Mr. Doolittle changed the lock on my door and neglected to give me the keys. I stepped out to get the morning paper and the door closed on me.
Mr. Bixby, you've hurt your toe?
I stubbed it hiding in a hedge while a young lady passed. I'd like to call a locksmith if I may.
Oh, Mr. Doolittle is here. And he may have your keys. I'll call him.
Thank you. I'd appreciate it.
And I'll let Cosmo know you're here.
No. Please don't bother. I have some business with him later in the day, but I'd rather he didn't see me like...
No bother at all.
Seems to work all right from this side. Seems to be hitting something right here.
Oh, where is he?
He was here. I heard the front door close. Perhaps he went home.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. He's probably got his keys from Mr. Doolittle.
Still hitting something right about here. Well, I'll have to take her off the hinges and plane her down.
Topper! Mr. Schuyler?
Oh, I'm sorry to bother you at this early hour, Topper, but... where's your front door?
It's gone.
Oh, well, no matter. I'm trying to locate Mr. Bixby. I was over at his house, but there's nobody home.
Well, he was here a few minutes ago, but he went back home.
Oh.
Is it important?
Well, you know that our bank, we're handling his purchase of the Hudson Frozen Food Processing Plant. Mr. Bixby's option expires at noon today, and I've got to get him together with Mr. Hudson.
Well, he's probably home by now.
Yes, well, where did I get my breath? You know, I ran over here in 5 minutes flat. I don't think I could do it again. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Oh, you're right, Mr. Schuyler. Which is more important, your health or $100,000?
Well, I'll do it this time in 2 minutes.
Well, just a minute. Bixby and I are very old friends. I'll get dressed and go with you.
Yeah, all right. But hurry, Topper, hurry. And I'll try to get him on his phone again. What's the ridiculous about that? Topper!
Oh, I can't get dressed upstairs. They've started spring cleaning and Maggie's there. It won't take me a minute to get dressed in the dining room.
My trousers.
Where did they go? Oh, I had them under my arm when I came down the stairs.
Oh, forget your trousers. Forget them. We have to locate Mr. Bixby, Topper.
Oh, I had them under my arm. Well, they've got to be somewhere. Mr. Bixby, what happened?
I was struck by that door.
What door?
That door over there. Is this your idea of a practical joke?
Well, if you'd just tell us what happened, old man.
Mr. Bixby, it's very important that Topper and I get you together with Mr. Hudson today.
I'm sorry. I'm in neither the proper mood nor the proper dress to discuss business.
You have never met him. Now, I telephoned. I took the liberty of telephoning and asked him to come here. Now, he'll be here any minute. Now, what can I tell him?
Tell him I'm out.
He's out all right. Cold.
Thank you. He almost got away.
Let's get him upstairs and call the doctor.
What are you waiting for, George? Why don't you go ahead and invent your paint sprayer?
Doing the preliminary thinking.
First, you ought to empty those martinis somewhere.
How can I think when he's standing there hiccuping at me?
You better go outside, Neil.
I got it.
What?
What this machine needs is a rat trap.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah. The rat trap snaps on the paintbrush and squeezes it out when you're finished.
Well, if it's an automatic paint sprayer, why do you need a paintbrush?
Well, you... Well, back to the old drafting board. I've got the solution. I finally got it. Get rid of this jar of martinis. Now, I put in a clean jar, then fill it up with paint. Now, we've got to get something to test it on.
How about painting the screens?
Let's go get them.
I don't know whether the screens are in the basement or in the garage.
Well, you look in the basement and I'll look in the garage.
Not so fast.
Why didn't you tell me all the beds have been taken apart?
I didn't know Maggie was cleaning the springs.
Well, what are we going to do with him now?
Well, let's put him in the living room, on the couch.
All right. Get those tools off the couch.
Well, let's put him on the chair over here.
All right. I'd like to revive him now before Mr. Hudson gets here. It means $100,000 to the bank if Bixby picks up his option on the Hudson food processing plant. Yeah.
Excuse me, Topper. George and I are going to paint the window screen.
Oh, that screen, it flew right in the room.
Oh, of course it flew. It's a fly screen.
What's Mr. Schuyler up to, Topper?
Well, it means $100,000 to the bank if Mr. Bixby picks up the option on the Hudson food processing plant.
Exactly. Well, that's what I told you. Why are you telling me?
Well, I just wanted to remind you. Oh, he's coming too.
What happened? Where am I? Oh, now I remember. That's the second time I've been attacked in this house.
What's that?
It's the seat of my robe.
George made a mistake. He used paint remover.
Paint remover. Dissolves anything.
No, look what I found in the attic. I wore it in 1925, and it's coming right back into style.
What?
Why, Mr. Bixby, I thought you'd gone.
Oh, Henrietta, we've got to lend Mr. Bixby a suit of my clothes.
But, Cosmo, it's spring cleaning. I sent all your clothes to the cleaner. I sent every suit except the one you're wearing.
Wearing? I'm not wearing any.
Oh, dear. Well, there is a pair of old greasy overalls in the garage. I'll get them.
Well, do hurry, please. The bottom has just dropped out of everything.
Hey, Topper! Mr. Hudson is here. Oh, George, come on in the house.
What do you want, honey?
You imbecile! What are you trying to do?
What is this, a banker's house or a home for mental defectives?
Well, if it is a home for mental defectives, then you came to the right place.
I want no insolence from you, barefoot boy. It's bad enough that I have to deal with a moron like Bixby without having to cope with a handyman who...
Moron? Bixby? A moron?
Yes, a moron. And a jackass. Nothing but a stubborn mule would keep me waiting until the last minute on an option. Don't stand here. Go tell him that Mr. Hudson is here. And you needn't repeat what I just said.
Ah, Mr. Bixby and Mr. Hudson, I see you two gentlemen have already met.
This is Mr. Bixby?
The moron. The jackass. In person.
I thought...
Gentlemen, the deal is off.
What deal?
Mr. Bixby was going to buy Mr. Hudson's food processing plant.
And the deal is off? Well, I'd consider letting Bixby put $1 million into my invention in return for a small interest. I'll take him in and give him a demonstration. Step in here, Mr. Bixby.
Well, what happened to him?
He backed out of the deal.
Mr. Bixby, I'm so sorry. If you'll just look at this list of assets, please.
There it goes. All my work down the drain. I failed. As president of the bank, I gave these negotiations my personal attention. And I failed. I'm not worthy to be president. What can I do?
Well, why don't you step down and let me be president?
Topper, this is all your fault.
Mine? Why?
Well, I'll think of a reason. But you manage some way to get these two men to shake hands on this deal. If you don't, you'll find yourself back behind a cashier's cage.
What, how can I get them to shake hands?
You can't, Topper, darling. But I can.
You stay out of this.
Well, I intend to.
Why should I sign? Have you ever done anything for me? No. Have you ever shown me any favors? No. I don't owe you a thing.
Gentlemen, you've heard it said that if you build a better mousetrap, the world will beat a path to your door. Well, I've invented something bigger than a mousetrap. It's a rat trap.
Thank you, darling. I didn't know how I was going to get them together till you mentioned that rat trap. Mind if I borrow it? Okay, Mr. Hudson. This way.
What in blazes are you trying... I almost stepped into that thing. I'll bet that Doolittle was trying to booby-trap me. You saved me just in time.
I did?
Now, that's what I call a favor. Where do I sign?
Come on, boys. Let's get together. Oh, hi, Hopper.
What, so fast? I only said shake hands. I didn't tell you to make them hug each other.
Back to the old drafting board.
Mr. Bixby took up the option.
I don't care about your options. Look what Mr. Doolittle has done to my door. Oh.
It solves the whole problem of ventilation, Copy.
It's on hinges, too. Just like a saloon door.
Neil's doing his spring cleaning, too. He's cleaned out his doghouse.
Produced by John W. Lupton. A John W. Lupton, Bernard L. Schubert production. Starring Ann Jeffries, Robert Sterling, and Leo G. Carroll.